My head is...
About natural vegetation.
Okay. Good afternoon, children.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
In the last class, we have discussed about natural vegetation,
vegetation.
distribution of natural vegetation, right? We have learned
Yes, ma'am.
classification of forest
Forest.
and for major types of vegetation of the world, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So do you remember all the points?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Anjana, can you explain two types of forest? Anjana. Anjana, quickly. Can you explain classification of forest?
Ma'am, can I say?
Yes.
Lynette.
Lynette, wait.
Class.
Anjana, respond. Lenin. Lynette. Children, those who are not in 8A, leave the classroom. Children, those who are not in 8A, leave the classroom. Karthik. Yes. Pooja, can you explain classification of forest?
Yes, ma'am. Forests are classified into evergreen and tropical deciduous.
Yes.
Evergreen forests
Deciduous forest. Deciduous forest.
are deciduous. Evergreen forests are monsoon forests.
Yes.
They do not shed their leaves altogether, but at different time of a year,
Yes.
and they are thick and dense.
Yes.
And tropical deciduous forests are less in dense, and they shed their leaves at a particular time of a year altogether.
Yes. 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 Then. Okay. Thank you, Pooja.
Thank you,
Today
ma'am.
we are going to learn about conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife. We are going to focus on conservation of natural resources, or conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
We all know forests are natural habitat of animals or wildlife. Right? Then plants give shelter to animals. Plants and animals together maintain ecosystem. Right? So it's very important protection of natural vegetation and wildlife. Protection or conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife is very important. Both are related. Then many species, flora and fauna, have become endangered or extincted. Right? Then what are the factors? What are the reasons for extinction of animals? Some of the animals or some of the species have endangered. What are the reason for this? Let us see what are the reason for this. Right? Let us see what are the reason for this. Tell me what are the reason. If you know reason, you can tell me what are the reason for this.
Ma'am, changes in climate.
Yeah, very good, very good. Natural factors and human factors are responsible for this, right? Both natural and human factors are responsible for this. Changes in the climate. Then
Hunting.
Hunting. Hunting. It means poaching, right? Illegal hunting or killing. Poaching of animals. Then
Deforestation.
deforestation. Okay. Deforestation. Then,
Ma'am, natural.
yes. Then,
Ma'am, tsunami.
yes.
Hurricane.
Ma'am,
Yes. Yes.
natural disasters.
Natural disasters like flood,
Hurricane.
Earthquake.
landslide,
Volcano eruption.
Earthquake.
soil erosion,
Volcanic eruptions.
volcanic eruptions. Then,
Forest.
forest fire,
Forest fire.
construction activities, right?
Yes.
These are some of the reasons, natural and human reasons or human factors responsible for extinction of species. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Deforestation, soil erosion, construction of or construction activities, landslide, flood, forest fire, tsunami, etc. These are some of the factors causing extinction of animals. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Advait, can you explain it? Can you note on all the points? Advait. Yes.
Changes of climate.
Yes. Louder.
Changes of climate.
Changes in climate. Very good. Then
Flood. Flood.
flood. Yes, yes, continue. You are right.
Flood. Forest fire.
Forest fire.
Soil eruption. Soil eruption.
Yes.
Construction.
Yes, yes. Construction activities. Very good. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Adit. Anashwara,
Yes, ma'am.
can you explain this?
Changes in climate,
Yes.
poaching of animals,
Yes.
deforestation,
Yes.
natural disasters like landslide,
Yes.
soil
Yes.
erosion, forest
Yes.
fire,
Yes.
flood, tsunami, construction activities.
It's very good. Thank you. Hridik.
Ma'am.
Hridik, answer.
Ma'am. Earthquake,
Yes.
volcanic eruption,
Yes.
deforestation,
Yes.
flood, construction activities,
Yes. Continue. You're right.
forest fire,
Forest fire.
poaching,
Poaching. What is poaching? You know, right? You have learned
hunting,
this in smaller classes. Illegal hunting, right? Or killing of animals. Then. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Hritik. Thank you. Good. Good. You understood this, right? Factors for extinction of animal. Children, those who are in 7C, please go to studio room 8. Stay here, leave the classroom. Stay here, leave the classroom and many 7C children are here in the class. See? Still they are coming. Next, we are going to focus on how can we conserve natural vegetation and wildlife. How can we conserve natural vegetation and wildlife? Our government has some measures to conserve natural vegetation and wildlife. Government has suggested some measures for the conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife. Let us see what are they. The first measure it has taken by the government is first measure for the conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife is establishment of national parks. Government has taken many measures for the conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife. First method, first important measure is or suggestion is establishment of national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, wildlife sanctuaries, and biosphere reserves. And biosphere reserves. First step taken by the government, right? Then what do you mean by biosphere reserves? What is biosphere reserves? Biosphere reserves are is a kind of ecozone where various activities are undertaken in various zone. Clear? It's a kind of ecozone. It's a kind of ecozone where various activities are undertaken in various zones. It's a kind of ecozone where various activities are undertaken in various zones. In simple word, we can say it's a protected area. Biospheres are protected areas reserved for the conservation of endangered species, flora and fauna, both animals and plants. Biosphere reserves are protected areas reserved for the conservation of endangered animals and plants in their natural habitat. That's very important. When we talk about those national parks, wildlife sanctuaries and biosphere reserve, it's very important to see this. Protect animals and plants in their natural habitat. Protect species in their natural habitat. So biosphere reserve is a protected area reserved for the conservation of endangered species in their natural habitat. Is it clear? Adhikesh, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Then can you say what is biosphere?
Ma'am, biosphere.
Yes.
The narrow zones.
Yes. Not biosphere, sorry. Biosphere reserve.
Yes, ma'am. It's a kind of ecozone where various activities are undertaken in different zones.
Yes, it's an ecozone where various activities are undertaken in various zones, right? Where we have this research centers, national parks, wildlife sanctuaries. Everything is there in different zones, right? So it's a protected area of endangered species for the conservation of the species. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Nantana, is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. And second point, create awareness. Create awareness. Make the people aware about the importance of conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife. Make them aware about the importance of natural vegetation and wildlife. Then for this, many programs are undertaken by the government, right? Social forestry and Van Mahotsav. Van Mahotsav you have learned in smaller class, right? Van Mahotsava or Van Mahotsava and social forestry. Both are related with protection of plants. Van Mahotsava means annual tree planting program. Social forestry is also protection of forest area. Management and protection of forest. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Both encourage, Van Mahotsava and social forestry encourage afforestation, planting more trees. Third point, laws. Government has made laws against the trade and killing or illegal hunting of animals.
Poaching of animals.
Yes, poaching of animals. You have learned this in 6th standard. Some points. Laws. Then, fourth one, International Convention. An international convention has been established, that is CITES. International convention has been established. What it is? CITES. What is the full form of CITES? The convention on the convention. Yes. What is the full form of CITES?
The Convention on
International
International
Trade of
Trade.
Endangered Species. What it is? The Convention on International Trade of Endangered Species. The Convention on International Trade of Endangered Species. Clear? Is it clear? Is it clear, dear children?
Yes, ma'am.
An international convention has been established. International convention, that is CITES, has been established. Convention means is an agreement. Agreement between governments. What is the aim of this international agreement or international convention?
To protect species.
Protect species. Actually, prohibit trade. If they are conducting trade,
Killing
make
or-
sure that the trade does not threaten the survival of plants and animals.
Animals.
Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it clear?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Trade of animals and plants does not threaten their survival. That is the aim of this international convention or agreement. These are some of the measures a government has taken for the conservation and protection of natural vegetation and wildlife. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
are they? Establishment of national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, biosphere reserve. Second, create awareness among people about the importance of conserving natural vegetation and wildlife. Right? Then awareness programs like Vana Mahotsav and social forestry promote all this. Both are related with protection of forests and planting trees. Third one, government has made many laws against the trade of animals and poaching. Last one, International Convention CITES has been established. What is the aim of this convention? Trade of animals and plants does not threaten their survival. It's an agreement between governments. Clear? Is it clear, my dear children?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. These are some of the methods a government has taken for the conservation. Adikesh, can you explain?
Yes, ma'am. I'm from the starting.
Yes.
And we learned about conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife.
Yes.
The major factors of the extinction of species are changes in the climate, hunting or
One second,
hunting or
Adikesh. Children, do you know what is the meaning of extinction and endanger? Yes or no? What is endangered? Endangered means what
Ma'am,
it is? You have
animals which
learned
are
this in
not
school
danger.
class, endangered, extinct, all these words.
Animals which are
They
The
are in
animals which
danger,
will
right?
not
Some animals are in
attack.
danger. If you are not protecting them, they will not be there on the earth, right?
yes, ma'am.
Yes. Then, extinct, disappeared. Clear.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Then, what are the reason for extinction of animals?
Changes in climate, deforestation,
Poaching
Yes.
of animals.
Poaching of
Yes.
animals,
Yes.
and changes of
devastation,
climate,
deforestation,
Changes
deforestation,
in the climate.
and soil
Natural disasters,
erosion, construction
Sridev,
tsunami,
yes. Can you
activities,
explain it, Sridev?
forest fire.
yes, ma'am.
Sridev, can you explain it?
Yes, changes in climate,
Changes in
poaching,
climate. Very good.
poaching of animals,
Yes, poaching off.
deforestation,
Deforestation,
tsunami,
tsunami,
flood,
flood,
landslide,
landslide,
soil erosion,
soil erosion,
forest fire.
forest fire. Okay, thank you. Then you know what is the meaning of extinction and endangered?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Then, Anjana. Anjana, can you explain methods for the conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife? Muhammad Salim, turn on your video. Nadeem Jahan, turn on your video. Anjana, no answer. Navaneet,
Yes, ma'am.
one method for the conservation of 1 point for the conservation.
Ma'am, national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and
Say in a
biosphere.
sentence. Establishment of national
Ma'am,
parks. Yes.
Establishment of natural national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and biosphere reserves.
Wildlife sanctuaries.
Sanctuaries and biosphere reserves.
Yes. These three wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, and biosphere.
Biosphere reserve.
These three are try to, what is the main aim of this three, establishment of this three? Because to protect the animals and species in their natural habitat. Clear? Protect species in their natural habitat. It's different from zoo. Protect species, flora and fauna in their natural habitat. Otherwise, you can say biosphere reserves or all this natural, that means conserve for future, or this one ensure environmental sustainability. That's a good word. Environmental, make sure the environmental sustainability. Yes, Nivedya, 1 point for the conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife. Yes.
Government has made so many laws
Government has made laws
for
against
controlling.
trade and poaching of animals. Very good. Then Amaljit,
Yes, ma'am.
1 point.
Laws,
Yeah, that she has explained. Nivedya has explained this.
mm,
Ma'am,
International Convention,
International Convention, what it is? CITES has been established. What is the full form of CITES?
Convection.
Convention on
International
international trade of
trade of
endangered
Endangered
animals.
species.
Endangered species. Endangered species means both plants and animals. Lakshmi, one more point is it. What is it? Lakshmi
Create
CV.
awareness.
Yes.
Create awareness.
Create awareness. Create awareness about the importance and conservation of this, right? And as a part of this, what
many
are
programs
many
have been
programs like
Social
One
forestry.
Mahotsava and
social forestry
Social
one more
Forestry. Both are promoting afforestation,
For social forest
encouraging
and
afforestation.
one Mahotsava.
One Mahotsav. Annual tree planting program. Social forestry is how to manage or how to protect forest and plant more trees. Because forests are the natural habitat of wildlife. So, to satisfy human needs, large areas of forest have been cleared. It will negatively affect wildlife, right? Plants protect animals, so plants and animals together maintain ecosystem. Right? When we destroy natural vegetation, it will affect wildlife.
wildlife.
Both are related.
Yes.
Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I hope you understood this class. This portion, conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife. Go through it, read your textbook with it. Okay? Thank you, dear children.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.